around. They put this mic on trial cause he be killing now. Forever biting my forbidden style. Been like it low for a minute in the game since I came. All these niggas.
Hello and welcome to the Only Game in Town podcast, coming to you live from the studios of my hotel room in Omaha, Nebraska. Live simulcast from Clotter Farms in Ellington, Connecticut. How are we doing, Mike?
Excellent. Getting a good deal of weather up here. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I hear you guys are getting quite a bit of snow.
Yeah.
That's because Nancy has to go on about a half-hour rant of how much she hates the snow every time it does. So.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It just sucked having to drive in it for work today.
Yeah, that's a little rough. But let's get to the thing that's on everyone's mind. Everyone's talking about it. There's no avoiding it, even though it wasn't the outcome we were hoping for. And that's the Australian Open.
Yeah, man. I thought Andy Murray had the bag.
I don't even know who won.
I think Murray lost. I have no idea. Okay.
Why? Why would you throw the ball there?
I don't know. I'm still just. It's boiled down now, but it's still like last night I was furious.
I can't imagine why.
I don't know. What
and the worst part is, okay, you saw they're stacking for goal line defense, and you want to throw the ball. Fine. Run play action, or throw a fade.
Yeah.
Don't throw to the one goal line route that any fucking corner with a brain can jump the route on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And it was funny because I forget what it was before, but Kyle Johnson and I were texting back and forth throughout the game, and at one point, I think it might have been the Seahawks or somebody, they got like way too cute with like a 3rd and 1 play on like a critical situation. And they didn't convert and had to punt. It might have actually been the Patriots. I forget. But they got too cute, and we were like, dude, what is it with these people just like outfoxing themselves? Like they're overthinking it. Like when you have, in the Patriots' case, a back like Blunt, and in Seattle's case, a back like Lynch. And it's like, why would that even cross your mind? I can see maybe trying to mix it up. Like I would almost understand a play action in that situation, like some sort of like play action boot to draw everybody in, maybe give Russell Wilson some space to either run or throw it away. But, like, spreading them out in shotgun from the one and trying I don't see it.
If they ran play action and he ran on a boot, he would have had at least 2 wide receivers running in totally open space.
Oh, yeah. Like, you run like a drag route across with him on the rollout. Either he gets space enough to run or he can throw it in the dirt, as opposed to trying to force something.
It was the worst play call I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, for sure. Like
in my entire life, by far.
I guess one of the only good things that comes out of this, at least for me, is because I don't like Pete Carroll, so it really salts his legacy. That on the biggest stage, on the biggest play, he just shit his pants, which I think is hysterical, but not hysterical enough for me not to be upset about the outcome of that play.
Oh, absolutely. The fuck are you thinking? What are you thinking? You have the best running back in the NFL, the most physical presence in the NFL, and I don't give a shit about that 1 in 5 stat of the 1-yard touchdown runs he had. They weren't touching him. They weren't touching him that game.
No, it's irrelevant at that point. Like I don't understand. I don't know. I just don't know. Like I'm at a loss for words. Like as to what they could possibly do to defend themselves.
Yeah. We had seen this game before. The other team down by 4 or 3 with 2 minutes left, and they drive down the field, crazy fucking catch, and then what's the last part of that? You run the fucking football into the end zone.
Yeah.
Giants gave it to him. Giants said, here you go. This is how you do this at the end of the game.
Yeah. It was not even up to the miraculous catch, which I was.
Oh my God.
I was laughing so hard. Like that was a sick catch, but just like it's like every fucking time, or it was almost like every fucking time that they get close, just something absurd happens. Whether it was obviously with Tyree or even that Manningham catch from a couple.
Oh, the Manningham catch too, yeah.
Yeah.
They showed the broadcast of WEEI, the sports radio in Boston. And the one after the interception was, of course, a ridiculous freak out. But after the curse catch, one of them just like buries his head and he goes, "This is David Tyree all over again."
Oh, it's so perfect.
It would have been so perfect if that's the way they lost again.
Oh yeah, it would have been hysterical. Well, unfortunately, it was just terrible, just awful. And like even if like you go up to looking at the stats going up to it, like Marshawn Lynch already had over 100 yards. The play just before that, he ran 5-8 yards, carrying half of the Patriots defense.
Oh yeah,
on
with
this play.
6 guys on top of him.
Yeah, like he wanted the end zone so bad, and just give him another crack at it. You have a timeout if you really want to run that little nifty pass play. You run it the next play, you burn a timeout. You try your pass play on 3rd down, and then on 4th down, you just try and maul it up the middle again if the pass play doesn't work.
He should be fired. I'll say it right now. He should be fired.
Absolutely.
And it's not even like I don't even mind Pete Carroll. I actually kind of like him. I think he should be fired for that.
It's absurd. Just absolutely.
Or at the very least, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the play call comes through, and he's got to check it, and he's like, no, that's.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. There's 3 parts blame in this.
Yeah. One of which isn't going to get any of it, which is fucking Russell Wilson.
God damn it.
Fuck that guy.
I didn't hear too much spin on Russell Wilson today.
I don't think they really talked about it because it's more the onus of this is falling on Pete Carroll as opposed to Wilson making that throw.
He should have audibled out of it. In his defense, it was a good throw. It was right where it should have been in that.
I actually disagree with that. I feel like in that situation, he tried to put it on the receiver's hands. I understand trying to lead him. But in that situation, you just
put it on his shoulder.
You put a fucking dart on him between the numbers. So the worst that happens is it hits his pads. If he doesn't catch it, it just drops to the ground. Like, I don't think you need to lead a guy with hands in that situation, especially running into traffic.
No. All around, I've never seen a team shit their pants that badly.
Yeah, and I don't think it was even the team. It was just the coaching staff were they just fumbled it away.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the defense gave up 14 points in the 4th quarter, which they haven't done in probably 3 years.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, yeah, but the offense had plenty of chances with the ball of 10
to put it away.
They could have buried him, and they didn't get anything done.
They could have stepped on their throat and just never did it.
Yeah, which I suppose you could credit some to the Patriots' defense on that point, but I don't really want to give them any credit, so we're not going to.
Not particularly, no. And they had one sequence. The Seahawks had one sequence where they were doing perfect. They were putting different blitz packages together. They were keeping them off balance. It was like a 2nd and 8, and Tom Brady just threw it into the dirt at no one because he was scared.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what you have to do all game. And then they just abandoned it the next defensive sequence.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand you got to run because I guess they don't run a terrible amount of blitz packages in general.
No, and I understand that, and they rely on their secondary because that secondary is incredible.
Gross, yeah.
But you know what you have to do.
Yeah,
it directly relies on making Tom Brady uncomfortable.
Yeah, and they were putting him on his ass when they built up that 10-point lead. Like it seemed like every Patriots possession, Tom Brady was getting put on his ass or he was getting touched or something like that. You know?
Oh God. Do you think Brady should have been the MVP?
I think Edelman should have.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, just he had that one touchdown catch, right, and over 100 yards. But I think the biggest thing he did was that drive that he ended up catching the touchdown pass on, which he just took an absolute
14?
Just the hardest shot that Cam Chancellor could gather and drilled him, and he didn't go to the ground. And you and I were talking about this before we went live. He was undoubtedly concussed, and you could tell.
Oh my God! There's no doubt in my mind.
But when he started running again, he was running at a 45-degree angle, like not even intentionally. He was facing forward.
No.
His body was just like leaning the way, and he was so dead. And then like people were trying to like console him, and he looked loopy, but he stayed in the game to his credit, and you got to give him a tip of the cap for that one.
Oh, I'm not taking away from him. I'm just saying the Patriots cheated.
How's that, Jim?
That dude is so clearly concussed, and they left him in the game. I don't care what they say about him passing protocol. Bullshit. That's like trying to tell me, who was it? Shane Vereen, after he got knocked out by Bernard Pollard, wasn't concussed.
Oh yeah, that was a great hit too. But
actually, I can think of like 2 other pants shitting situations, but I don't want to go into them because they both directly affect me, and I try to forget them by drinking.
Fair enough. That's the best
So.
medicine here.
Yeah, but
Yeah. To the concussion thing though, I think the actual protocol is like if you went down to a knee after the play, they would have taken him off the field. But he stayed on his feet somehow, like the whole time, and feigned non-concussed.
outrageous.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. And then and going back to the goal line baloney, and I was upset they didn't give it to Lynch. And my initial reaction, because Lynch's contract goes up after next year,
Yeah,
they're going to go into talks following the Super Bowl. My initial reaction was like, there's no way in hell that he resigns with that team. Like, if I was Marshawn Lynch, I would have just backed up my shit and went and sat on the bus after that.
he was good about it. He actually was good about it afterwards, I guess.
Yeah, which I guess it changed my opinion somewhat now that he probably will end up resigning with them, which I guess is good for them, but unfortunate because I'd love to see him on a team that isn't the Seahawks. But I guess he had that quote where the guy asked him like, were you surprised that you didn't get the ball or something like that? And he was like, no. And the guy was like, why? He's like, because football is a team sport. And I was like, oh, well, all right, Marshawn.
No, I guess
That's the best way you could have handled that.
Oh yeah, it was incredibly well handled by him. I guess he said when the call came down from the offensive coordinator, he was like, I'm getting the rock, right? And Russell Wilson's like, no, we're throwing it. And he's like, all right. Yeah.
Dude, you gotta feed that man. You gotta feed him.
Yeah, you have to. Where would he go though? I mean, where is he gonna go?
I'm sure you could name his price on any team.
Oh, he absolutely could. But where's he gonna go where he has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl and getting decent money?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with that is depending on the number of years that he signs, because that roster is going to get pretty blown up eventually because they're going to run out of.
Well, they have to.
That are signed only six-figure deals and aren't really cap hit guys. Eventually, Russell Wilson's going to get his $20 million probably after this year.
Yeah.
Lynch is going to have to make his money. Sherman's already made his money. They're going to have to pay Earl Thomas. I don't think he's made his money yet.
No.
Just all the small integral people on that defense. They're just going to either have to overhaul again.
Yeah.
Or somehow find a way to pay those guys.
Bennett or Irvin probably too.
Yeah, well, I think Bennett's still under contract for a couple years. I don't know. I don't know the whole situation, but I know a couple guys are up pretty soon.
Didn't like the fight they started at the end either.
No, I was kind of upset with that because it gives them a bad look, makes them look like sore losers. And
it just feeds the Patriots too, just the fans.
Oh, yeah,
we're so classy. Look at these scumbags. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. Just.
God damn it.
Couldn't have ended
everything about it. But otherwise, if this was two other teams that I had absolutely no dog in, which not that I really had one to begin with, but.
Well, there was hatred involved.
Oh, there's hatred involved, but it was an unbelievable game.
Oh, it was fantastic. I thought it was great.
First half was useless, but the second half was unreal.
It was crazy because it was almost like a tale of two halves because the first half, namely the first quarter and first half of the second quarter, the Patriots were fucking handing it.
Couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, like they were marching down the field outside of Tom Brady throwing a real terrible interception, which was hysterical.
So bad.
Yeah, but Seattle couldn't get anything done on offense, and they were on their heels on defense for the first couple of possessions. It was like, whoa, the Patriots definitely look like the better team now. And then Seahawks scored, and they got a little bit of that magic with that 30-second drive, which was outrageous. What was it, 29 seconds and 80 yards or something like that, or
yeah.
It was crazy.
That was a wild game, I will say. And then Katy Perry just boobs all over the place.
Not nearly as much as I was hoping for.
No, only one outfit. Really not happy about it.
Which was a shame, but she killed it, man. I was talking about it when she first started singing out there, because sometimes when you get live performers in that kind of a stage, you can't their voice is much worse. But she was stroking it. She hit all the notes and stuff. It was awesome.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. All right, I don't want to talk about this, but I guess we should. Is Brady the best quarterback ever?
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't think there's a question anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I think he cemented it.
I think if he gets another, he cements it.
I mean, who's over him right now, though?
I don't. I'm just not willing to say he's number one. I think that's what it is.
You just don't want those words to escape your mouth.
No, it's not even like my bias against him. It's just, they say Michael Jordan because he just had that drive to win and everything like that, but he also never lost.
Yeah.
Never. And Tom Brady fucking lost that game last night.
Oh, he did not. That was not his best game.
No.
Going back to us saying he wasn't the MVP, I don't think he was. I mean, he missed a lot of throws, like a lot.
He did. And he's definitely in discussion, and it's so hard to say like who's the best quarterback ever, because I feel like there's two types of what you would call best quarterback as ever, like best playoff quarterback ever. I mean, that's like definitely three, Bradshaw, Montana, and Brady. But then you have that other subset of people who just never really won, but they're unbelievable, like Peyton Manning, Dan Marino.
Yeah, that's true. But like at the same time, like Brady broke like all of Montana's records after the Super Bowl, like outside of total one. Like obviously Montana went undefeated in his Super Bowls, but at the same time, like Brady still has 4. He has all of the he broke all Montana's playoff records and Super Bowl records. Like I don't think there's anything left even on paper that you can try and argue outside of the losses. But
yeah, no, I mean he probably is. Again, I just don't want to say it. God damn it.
Pretty much.
What do you think? How long until the Pats go back to an 8-8 team and all those asshole Boston fans just continue to pretend they care about Boston sports?
I don't know.
They're only good.
I was hoping the end was nigh after that Chiefs game. I was like,
yeah,
we might go through a tailspin here. This will be great. But now,
and that was the worst part. The media after that was just so relentless.
Oh, they were calling. They were
calling for his head. Just oh god.
But the way that they like rallied this season and just how they took care of business, it was just like, shit, man. Like, can they do that every year?
Let's hope not. Fuck.
Yeah, let's hope there's a severe drop off somewhere along the way next year.
Next year, hopefully.
Somehow everybody just gets terrible. Not necessarily injured, because I don't like people getting injured, but just everybody gets real awful real quick somehow.
Well, I think all 3 of the other teams in that division are going to be on the upswing.
I think so too. I think Miami, I think, is definitely going to be better. Buffalo's defense is going to be grimy.
Oh God! Well, with Rex,
silly with Rex.
They were filthy to begin with, and as Rex is their head coach, that's going to be.
Oh, they're going to be frightening. They won't
play a lick of offense still, but.
No, but they're going to be fun to watch. But the only thing that worries me is just like Bills' offense still isn't that great. Defense is really good. Jets, I honestly don't know what to think of them until we see what they do with the roster and what the head coach looks like.
Yeah.
And then the Dolphins, I think, will be better too. But like, it's hard to see that division playing out anything other than like Miami 10-6 / 9-7, Buffalo flirting with 8-8, and then the Jets below that, unless the Jets really do well in the offseason, and then the Patriots just like 11-5 again. Like
Jets are probably going 6-10.
Yeah, but it's until it's proven on the field and they are able to dethrone them on the field, like the Patriots are still going to just keep rolling. I think that division.
Oh yeah, and that's I don't know. They're an incredible team. I want to preface that. It's just they just get such an easy run in their division, and they have for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
With the exception of the 2 years when when the Jets went to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Like they've just had a breeze through the AFC East.
Yeah, it's not even when Castle was their quarterback, they still went like 10-6. I mean, granted,
they did.
He was driving like the Ferrari still at that point. That was their offense.
Oh yeah. Was that the year after? Was that 2008?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year after they went like 16-0. Brady went down like the first game.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's hard to think. I guess you could kind of say that the Colts have been gifted with their division, but the Colts really aren't. They're not as good as the Patriots.
No.
And
no.
Like because the Colts division is just white hot garbage.
Oh, it's awful.
Between the Texans and the Jaguars and the Titans, like ew. 2 of those teams finished in the bottom 3 of the league.
God damn it. And I almost wish, and not even because I live in Denver, but I just wish the Broncos won, just because I know they would have given a better game to the Patriots.
Yeah,
than the Colts.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not saying they would have won, but it would have been much closer.
Yeah, for sure. And we would have had potentially the last run of Manning versus Brady. No, who knows what Peyton's going to do after this season?
Yeah, everything I've seen, he's leaning towards coming back.
I think so too, but that's another one of those teams going with Seattle that has like a ton of guys whose contracts are up and they got to re-sign them. Like both Julius and Demaryius Thomas are up. I think
one of them is gone.
I think Julius Thomas is going to be gone.
I think so too.
I think like on the other side of the ball, like Terrence Knighton might be up, and just a bunch of big guys are up.
Yeah.
It's another.
I mean, that's an all-star team, really.
Oh yeah.
That team they have, it's outrageous.
Yeah, it's just John Fox just didn't know what to do with them.
Oh, that's graphic, Jordan. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. They're definitely gonna have Emmanuel Sanders. They'll re-sign Demaryius Thomas. I think they're getting rid of Julius Thomas.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got a lot of that defense is under contract for a little while, so they might lose Knighton. But
yeah, I mean they'll be able to maintain, but
the thing I'm interested in is Gary Kubiak has never seen in his coaching career a team this talented.
Yeah. And
so we'll see.
I don't know. I kind of chuckled when they hired Gary Kubiak because
I was too. I'm like,
what has he done? Like, I mean, John Fox had an up and down career before he went there, but at least he went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, Gary Kubiak had like what one winning season in Houston in like 8 years or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Just
it was a hometown hire. That's what it was.
Yeah, and because
he's friends with LA.
Yeah, and did Kubiak work with Peyton earlier in his career or something like that in Indianapolis? There's some connection there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think as well, and I hope Kubiak does well, but it's just his track record is just poor.
Yeah, then they got Wade Phillips as defensive coordinator. Come on.
I mean, Wade runs a good defense. He had what was it? Either the Texans went crazy like 2 years ago. That was Wade Phillips' defense.
No, I know. I just think of him perennially as the head coach of the Cowboys, that like fat bumbling idiot who has no idea what's happening.
Those were, I think, going to Wade Phillips, the cutaway shots to him as the Cowboys coach when like things were going wrong were so much funnier than going to Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett, like, you go to him and it's like a deer in the headlights and he's like breaks into a cold sweat. And he just has the pure shock on his face. Wade Phillips was just like this fat, disappointed, blithering idiot, and it was just hysterical.
What happened? God,
it was so funny every time.
I don't know. And they let out the odds today, and I guess the Seahawks are 6-1 to win next year. Pats are 7-1.
Really? They're giving the Hawks better chances?
I guess so.
That's interesting, because the Hawks play in a ridiculously difficult division. Like, Arizona gets themselves a quarterback. They're a threat, man.
I think the Niners are fucked.
Yeah. I feel bad for them. I like the 49ers.
I don't.
Well, I think Kyle has a little bit to do with it.
Well, that and remember Mike Pascal?
Yeah.
Such an irrational Niners fan. And just talked so much shit during that NFC Championship game in 2011.
Oh yeah, that was
so much shit. And he literally wrote me like a novel of just shit talking. I just responded with Kyle Williams. Didn't go over well.
The poor bastard. Poor guy.
That game was a bloodbath.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. That was just your guys' year though. Like they always talk about like going into the playoffs, like teams end up being like teams of destiny, and like that for you guys. Like so many things went right in those last two games for you guys.
Oh, absolutely,
completely batshit wrong for the other teams that you played, but a win's a win.
I don't care. I still got to.
Oh no. I'm not knocking you guys. It's just funny how that happens to some teams, like Baltimore 2 years ago, when just like Hail Mary to beat the Broncos, and even to get into the playoffs, they had that crazy play to, I forget even who it was, but against the Chargers, and they converted like a 4th and 29 or something. Just preposterous stuff.
Just outrageous. But last night did make me glad that I am a Giants fan. Much of a gloating asshole as I sound.
Oh, exactly.
Because that team's going to go down as one of the best ever. Not this year, but this run of Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
And we're the only ones that have beat them, and we did it twice.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid distinction.
If we're not going to be the best, I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of the things that I'm ready for is the avalanche of Patriots fans talking about dynasty and stuff that over their run. I would call their run perhaps a dynasty, but like you can't give yourself that if you haven't won it in 10 years, you know?
If it was a decade in between Super Bowls.
Yeah, like that's a completely different. It's still Belichick and Brady, but the team is completely different outside of Vince Wilfork.
Oh yeah, no, it'll be known as the tandem of Brady and Belichick, not necessarily the
Yeah, it's not quite like
path.
It's not quite like Walsh and Montana over that 6-year stretch, or
oh yeah,
Bradshaw and Chuck Noll, or no, what was it? It was Chuck Noll, right?
Yeah,
As the Steelers coach, yeah. Like those ones I would consider more so, but like that, just the run they have is it's so dominant.
I need it to be over.
Yeah, I know.
I'm done with it. I'm very much done with it.
It's awful. I keep on saying to myself, one of these days they're gonna taste like 6-10, and they're not gonna know what to do with themselves. And us
that won't happen until Brady's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
How their backup are they grooming him to be the next one?
Ooh, Garoppolo?
Yeah.
It sure looks like it. He definitely, because I think they brought in Ryan Mallett a couple years ago. They drafted him to try and be the.
Yeah.
Ryan Mallett turned out to be just complete and utter poop, and it seems like
Which
this
sucks because he had a rocket for an arm.
Oh, he had an absolute cannon, but he'd always throw it at receivers' feet. He probably still does.
Oh, I'm sure.
That was always the funny thing watching in like the preseason games. Those first like 2 years they had Mallett. Everybody's like, oh man, he's the future. He's the future. Then he'd go up against like the third string defense of like the opposing team in a preseason game, and just create divots in the ground with how hard he was throwing at receiver's feet. It was so funny.
God damn it, Iowa State is for real, huh?
Oh yeah, man, Cyclones are nuts.
Jeez.
Are they whooping up Kansas right now?
They're winning.
Who ended up winning the UNC
Virginia.
Virginia did?
Yeah.
Nice. Virginia's legit.
I think they were up by 15 when I left, and there was like 6 minutes left. I'd have to imagine they won.
Damn. They must have really shut them down in the second half because
Yeah.
UNC was up 1, I think, at halftime.
Yeah, they had that tip in right at the end. Oh, so how do you feel about next year for your team?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I made some outrageous claims last year, and you guys ran me up the flagpole for that, so I'm going to stay quiet.
As we should have.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was just happy we had Lovey, and it looked like we were going in the right direction. But I guess you got to bottom out before you can get better.
That's true. I mean, and to your defense, like you said, they lost every how many games by 3 points.
Oh yeah, it was a terribly frustrating year this year. Like we were better than our record indicates, but I guess it was for the best that we lost all those games because now we get to pick first. Hopefully, take Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean. I think that's the last piece. You need a quarterback.
Yeah, that and an offensive line, but definitely quarterback first.
I think that'd be a good fit for Jameis.
Yeah, I think so too. He'll stay in Florida, so the fan base will be excited about that, and all that fun stuff.
I think the Tampa Bay media is not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, they can't really get upset if all we do is lose. Like they're just used to it now. So am I, which is unfortunate. But I don't know. I'm excited. I think we're going to do a lot better. I'm not going to necessarily guarantee playoffs, but I think we're going to be much improved. Obviously, there's a lot to go with the draft and free agency and stuff like that. I think we're going to be much improved in Lovey's second year, and it's good that our division is. I mean, outside of the Panthers, who were kind of on the recipient end of a lot of close games, like they won a lot of games that we had lost. But like the Saints. They seem to be on kind of a downtick. The Falcons are just in shambles.
We'll see, though. I mean, Quinn is an interesting hire for them.
Yeah, that was a big one. It'll be interesting to see what he can do there. But
I mean, they got the offense, and he's a great defensive coach.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of putting it all together. But I mean, just looking at it based off like last year's performance, obviously last year is completely different than this coming year. But the division the division looks like it can be taken.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
The division was soft as baby shit last year.
What was the winning record? 7-9 to get in the playoffs?
7-8-1.
Oh, that's right. The Panthers had to tie.
Yeah. So I mean, if 7-8-1 got them in there last year, I think we could do good.
I think you guys can go 7-9.
I think that's a respectable number.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with that, and I guess everything on top of that would probably be icing. But
yeah, I don't know if that necessarily means playoffs. I think one of the other ones will get over the hump, maybe to a 9-7.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? The Falcons could completely turn it around with not Mike Smith, because Mike Smith is just wow,
so bad.
Wow, so bad. I'm gonna miss him, man. He kept them, that's for sure. Kept them real close.
See, the way you are is how I was with Wade Phillips. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss Wade.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him, man.
And look when Andy Reid got stagnant on the Eagles.
Oh yeah, it was like 2 years. They just didn't care anymore.
Oh yeah.
But it's gonna be tough. I mean, especially coming up and what the NFC is now. I mean, that wild card spot isn't like it's not even guaranteed at 10-6 now with how strong the West is. The North is strong. You guys in the East always have 2 or 3 horses running towards the end there. Like, it's tough to get in now.
Only 2 this year. Ugh.
Yeah, well, yeah. Usually you guys are in the mix too, but yeah, it's like it's vastly different than the AFC where it was just like, yeah, like
it was like 3 teams.
Yeah, you could like pencil in all the preseason division winners, and then you might have missed on a wild card.
Yeah,
but you could basically like lock it up every year with Patriots, Broncos, Colts
probably,
and then you flip a coin between Steelers, Bengals, and Ravens, and then somebody else.
That was the only fun division.
Yeah, and somebody else is getting in there, and then the Chargers are usually knocking on the door. So the AFC's been a lock like the past couple of years.
We'll have to see. Ideal. Who would you want in the draft?
Jameis, for sure.
Jameis? Okay.
Yeah, over Marcus, definitely. I mean, I originally thought that just based on being Florida State, and I like Jameis. I watched, all of his games this year, so I knew what he had to offer. And I hadn't really watched much of Mariota, but he was getting, roses thrown at him. But after watching, the Rose Bowl and the National Championship, like, he doesn't, like, he's a project. Like, I think he would have immediate, like, flash impact as far as, like, scrambling and, making plays on the fly. But as far as, like, 5-step drop, make progression reads, like, he's not there yet. And
no.
That's what Jameis has been running for 2 years and only lost 1 game. So
I think Mariota is a smarter RG3.
He's bigger than him too, I think.
He's bigger, yeah. He's going to be not as injury prone. Yeah. I don't think he'll have like the flash that RG3 had the first year he was there.
Yeah, I mean he could, depending on who drafts him. Like they could implement like a spread kind of thing for him. But
who else is down there that needs a quarterback, like down around the first few picks? I mean, I know the Raiders aren't picking a quarterback.
No, I think they're going to stick with Carr for a couple years, which I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah, Jacksonville's not going to give up on Blake Bortles yet.
Who's that?
Jacksonville's not giving up on Blake Bortles yet either.
No, Blake Bortles is their dude until he's not, I guess.
Yeah, that's his to lose.
Yeah, take a real strong stance on that one. He's there till he's not. But I'm trying to think who else is like in dire need. Houston is, but I don't think they're in range unless they trade up.
Yeah.
Arizona.
I keep talking about the Eagles trading up for Mariota.
I did hear whispers about that. I read some stuff on that. That'd be really interesting. Really.
I don't know.
That'd probably be a little frightening for you guys if they made it up and grabbed them.
Yes and no. I agree with what you say. He looks like he's a project for the NFL.
Yeah, but I mean, what better project?
Oh no. That'd be the best possible place for him to end up would be on Philly. But
yeah,
I don't know. I could see that crashing and burning.
Yeah,
because I mean, Chip has already made a few picks. Oregon homer picks. It seems like.
Yeah. Well, he knows his dudes, and he's running just a modified system of that now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think, with Mariota, even if you put in like that spread kind of attack that he had, like you can't get away with running 8 different formations and 4 different plays in the NFL and be successful. I don't think.
Yeah.
So,
Kyle was telling me about this today. Someone projected Amari Cooper to fall to the Giants. Could you imagine?
What? I don't see it happening, but like, if he
No,
did,
I mean, the Giants are not the type of team to blow off their needs in the draft that badly.
Oh no, you guys need an offensive line and several places on defense.
We need all the linebackers.
Yeah. I think the Hurst project is over.
No, well, Hurst was only in there because John Beeson can't stay healthy.
Yeah, Beeson's sick though.
Yeah, Beeson's great when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Smart dude. He's exactly what they want. He's exactly what they want. They want another middle linebacker who plays the field general like Antonio Pierce did for the Super Bowl teams. But he's just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, it's too bad he isn't. He's a monster. He was one of the only players on Carolina when he was down there that I respected because he was he was such a freak.
And then frickin' Carolina stepped in shit with Luke Kuechly.
Oh, God.
God damn, he's so good.
What a beast. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of another team that really needs a quarterback. Everybody else kind of has forced their own hand and has to stick with what they have for right now.
Yeah.
But I think Titans and Bucks are really the 2 guys that are going to take Mariota and Winston in some order, unless somebody offers, like, one of us a king's ransom for that pick.
Which could happen.
I suppose, but I mean, I don't know. I don't see anybody really going crazy. Like, it's not like Andrew Luck or anybody. So.
No, exactly. There's no Even that draft, they were just like there are a few almost guarantees. This one, there's none for that.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I don't know. I still think I'm gonna stick with Jameis, but like because I mean, there's still pro days, there's interviews, there's the combine, all that shit. So. There's a lot to see, but I think he's the better choice just based off of what we saw in college. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, speaking of the combine, did you hear about the free agent combine that they're gonna run this year?
No.
So they're doing a separate combine this year past the draft prospects, and they're gonna do one for veteran NFL players that have been sitting on the free agent market. So they can go to a combine that's just for them, and scouts can go look at them, and they can get signed stuff based off of it.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Which I think is awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have so many CFL players there.
Oh yeah. Oh absolutely. It's gonna be loaded. It's gonna be sick though. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of guys like, oh shit, that guy's still kicking around.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. But back to Amari Cooper on the Giants. Come on. That would be the best wide receiver core in the NFL.
Oh, for sure. I don't know if Eli would know who to throw it to. He'd probably take a couple sacks because he'd be like deciding who to throw it to and just get whacked.
It never happened, but
no, it's fun to think about though.
Oh yeah.
To your talking about their receiving core though, I think if Victor Cruz comes back healthy, he's going to be a steal in fantasy football because everybody's going to be bracketing and being all over Odell. So he's just going to get so many looks underneath.
Oh, absolutely, because they're going to double ODB.
Oh, yeah.
And he was Eli's favorite target, even with Hakeem Nicks.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
You guys are going to be sick. You guys need an offensive line in the running game.
Yeah, absolutely. God, I just hate Will Beatty. Oh, my God, I hate Will Beatty.
I can't believe he's still starting. Like, that's how dire your situation was, is that he was still starting despite him being terrible.
I just want some random ineffectual circumstance to happen to him where he can never play again.
That's such an awful thing to wish upon somebody.
Like in what's it called, Little Miss Sunshine, when the kid finds out he's colorblind.
Oh.
And he can't be in the Air Force. That's kind of what I want to happen to Will Beatty. Like, he's going to be fine. He'll be okay, But just fuck off my team. Never play again.
Are you happy with Coughlin sticking around?
Yeah, I wanted him to get one more year. And the Giants just went all in on that, too. With that, they were like, we're going to let you hire whoever your defensive coordinator, but this is it. You have to win.
Yeah. Which I
Which
definitely
I think
I
is
definitely
good move
respect.
by them.
I respect the hell of the organization for doing that. I didn't think he was gonna stay, but I mean I'm not upset that he's staying or anything. But I didn't think he was staying after this year.
Well, like a lot of people in the New York media are saying, Odell Beckham saved a lot of jobs in New York.
Yeah.
Because if they continued on their path to go like 3-13, 4-12, I think Jerry Reese, the GM, would have been gone. Coughlin probably would have been gone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think they're grooming McAdoo to become the head coach eventually, though.
I mean that would be a bad look. Your offense definitely turned around in the second half of the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll
Which
see.
may have
And
kind
Andre
of-
Williams will have another year under him. We'll see.
Yeah.
He was definitely not where he should have been in the beginning of the year, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are in pretty good shape moving forward. It's about shoring up that offensive line.
Yeah, definitely. And that and the linebackers, because it was just a total sieve for run, mostly running.
Yeah. You're not going to get very far if you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run.
Exactly. I forget what Marshawn Lynch put up against the Giants, but it was upper hundreds, I believe.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a touchdown.
Just sickening amounts of fantasy points.
It was gross.
It's great.
All right. Well, let's hope there's a different outcome for the Super Bowl next year, and we'll move on.
Yeah, we're just going to have to bury this one and pretend it never happened.
Yep, exactly. Just like I'm about to do with the UConn season.
Oh,
right now.
dear. Oh, dear.
Houston. They lost to fucking Houston.
Houston hasn't won a conference game yet.
Ugh.
Oh, my God. Like, we're not even
What
going
is wrong with this team?
We're not even going to make the NIT at this point.
No, we're not.
It's terrible. It's so hard to watch. Like to the
What
point
is
that I was
wrong?
watching the first half and I was like, okay, and we'll turn it around the second, and then the second half just spiraled out of control. Like this is like the story of the season. It's like, God, it was respectable in the first half. We were down, and then just spiraled out of control in the second half. I switched the game because I was so frustrated, and I kept checking my phone, and then lo and behold, we're only down 6 to like 2 minutes to go. I'm like, all right, here we go, we're coming back. We get close, and then we just don't.
Ugh.
And it's been so awful.
I hate it. I don't understand it because they're so fucking talented.
They are. I don't know. I think we're just missing like the alpha. Like obviously Boatwright is the leader of the team, but I don't think he's the same leader that we've had in the past with young teams. Like
Yeah.
he's been there. He's a veteran. He's a senior. Like he can definitely score. He can lead by example. But I don't think he's the kind of like huddle rah guy that we need.
No, exactly. Like he doesn't get in someone's face when they fuck up like Shabazz used to.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and Kemba was the same way too. Kemba would absolutely tear someone apart if they fucked up.
Yeah, and that's what we're missing is the alpha. And I don't know who's gonna do it next year. Maybe Brima, but Brima needs to stop getting fouls. Did you watch the end of that Houston game?
No, I didn't get to see any of it, unfortunately.
Dude, Brima had his 5th foul, and it was the most bogus thing. Like that led like I was watching it with Mike, and like both of us were just like, dude, like it's awful to say and such like a cliche and excuse thing to say, but just like the refs sometimes against us is just like whoa, because like
yeah, he draws some pretty questionable fouls.
The last one was just it. They ran it in the replay, and the two commentators when they showed it were like, okay, let's see what happened here, and they showed the replay. Basically, what the guy did is he got the ball in the low post. There was like a second left on the shot clock. We were only down like 2, and there's still time left to be had. And like the guy got it, and he had put his back into Brima, and when he turned, his feet slipped, and he fell, and they called the 5th foul on Brima. Like Brima had nothing to do with it, and he got ejected, and it was so awful. And like they showed the replay, and the 2 announcer guys are just like silent for like a whole 3 seconds after watching that, and then one of the guys is like, well, I guess there was a little contact there, but like they were just like, what do we say? Because that's such bullshit.
I don't know, and I don't want to get into this discussion, but I'm gonna anyways. Whatever. I don't think it's Kevin Ollie that's like attributing these losses, but I don't know.
I mean, it's tough to say that he's like mismanaging the team because like what happens on the floor isn't necessarily indicative.
Oh no, exactly. exactly. But
what he's trying to run. I hope with what you're saying there that like maybe like his coaching style is falling on deaf ears, which I doubt it is. I really doubt it is. But it's just something is just like there's just something wrong with the team. And I don't know what it is. I think it's the alpha dog thing, but like
I think so too. But
I mean, we're still only scoring like 58, 60 points a game. It's just like we gotta score somehow. Like we have to score somehow in the half-court offense, and it's generally been an issue with UConn teams in the past. But like in the past, we found ways to dig and get like runs going that didn't necessarily include fast break points. Like we were able to get shots, and now we don't have like a sniper at 3. Like
no. Well,
like,
I mean,
Brima gets like all his points on like dunks. Like he's got to develop like a post game.
He's got a rebound.
Yeah, he does need a rebound.
He's 7'2" and he gets like 4 rebounds a game.
Yeah, which is awful. His rebound numbers have gone up the past couple games, which is good. But he's still not secure. I mean, Kenton Facey shouldn't be getting more rebounds than him. I love Kenton.
No, absolutely not.
Kenton's a phenomenal hustle player, and I think he's great.
This team in 2 years is going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, if everybody sticks with it, I think we are too. But just like
no, but I mean, even with the core of like just Terrence Samuel and Kenton Facey, I bet it's going to be a blast to watch.
Yeah, and this one reminds me almost of the championship hangover team we had when Drummond came in.
Yeah.
And just like tons of talent. Like we have a little bit of experience, but like not a ton as far as like guys that stayed, and just like it's just a growing pains here, I think. For us.
Yeah, I will see. I could see the team. Unfortunately, I could see this being like a 2-year thing. Yeah. Like this could carry over next year, but I think once this is eventually going to be Terrence Samuel's team, and I think he's going to turn it around. Like he may not have the talent and everything that Shabazz and all them have, but he has that like. It seems like he has that hard nose, kind of like will chirp at his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him. Not to call him this because he's nowhere close to it right now, but I could see him being more of like a Talik Brown, just a facilitator surrounded by talent.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I mean, he can score. I love him when he knocks it around. He makes like the jump steps down low and reverse layups. Like he can definitely put it in the bucket. Like he doesn't have a jump shot, which is just God. Like he's got to get a jump shot.
Yeah.
But I think his best attribute is like running the offense and facilitating. It's not necessarily the scoring and all that stuff, you know?
No. Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, I think Omar Calhoun could become the next kind of sniper for UConn.
Dude, he's had a great run coming off that injury. I'm pumped he's back because I loved him this freshman year, and I had like real high hopes for him. And then all last year he was injured. Beginning of this year he was injured, and then finally these past like 8 games he just hit his stride, and he's been knocking down threes at probably close to like a 45% clip. Like he's moving around on the inside and stuff. Like he's looking good, which is awesome because like. Between him and Hamilton out there on the wings, like that's a ton of size that we're not normally accustomed to having on the wings.
Oh, exactly. You don't think it's Purvis, maybe? That's like kind of a poison to this team?
I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think his problems just kind of stem with him not wanting to step on anybody's toes, knowing it's Boatwright's team. I mean he's made some boneheaded decisions, but I don't think it's him like, you know, quitting on the team or anything.
No, not in that way. But like, you know, there was always people saying, you know, there's a reason he left NC State. You know, he had some problems like distributing the ball, you know, taking ill-advised shots, just like that. Like basically just calling him a selfish player.
Yeah.
And you know, he was passing with UConn and everything, but he got demoted to not starting for a while.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if that's necessarily representative of him as a whole. I don't think he was producing to the level that we wanted as a starter, which is why we benched him. But he's still getting comparable, if not more, minutes coming off the bench. I think it was just kind of a lineup shake that Ali was trying out because Omar was coming in hot, and then he wasn't doing as well, so they just wanted a different rotation at guard, which actually I kind of love what he's doing with the backcourt right now with Boatwright and Omar starting at 1-2 and then running out Terrence and Purvis as the second guard tandem, like having 2 full swings of guards like that.
I like that too.
Like on paper that should be great, and I think unfortunately we don't have a ton of time to grow it, but it seems I'm excited about the prospect of that just because I think it works great having 2 whole groups of guys that like 2 separate platoons that you can
trust. Absolutely. And we'll see. I mean, Castell Jr. is not really coming along the way we'd hoped.
Well, I think the best thing that could have happened to him is this injury. That I mean, it's hard to say, but this injury that he has, because he still has a ton of time to grow, and it's not happening on the court right now. So he's just got to hit the gym and just work this next year in off season.
We'll see. We'll see. It's a shame too, because Boatwright knows how to do it.
Oh yeah, dude, he poured in 31 points against Houston. He's the only one that was doing anything.
Yeah. He shot for a decent percentage too, didn't he? He shot over 50%, didn't he?
He started off awful. He was like 1 of 8 from the floor, and then he just started ripping in the second half.
It's because no one was doing it.
I think he just finally got pissed off and started draining shots. And even at the end, he hit like 2 or 3 threes that just like kept us in. And even at the buzzer, we were down 5, and he just dribbled the ball up and drained a 3 at the buzzer, and we lost by 2. It's just like just kind of an FU 3 that he took at the end of the game.
Yeah. Primus should be a 4-year player, but I feel like he'll leave next year.
If he shows the same amount of improvement that he did from 1 to 2 and year 2 to 3, I think he'll probably leave just because of the offers and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
being a 7-2 center.
Yeah, I mean his career arc is almost going like Hashim Thabit-esque right now.
Yeah.
But he just needs to develop down low, man. He's got to get a shot. Like he's hit some bunny hooks and stuff like that, but it's not consistent. Like if he's not getting an alley-oop pass or throwing it down off of like a rebound, like he's not generating any offense.
This is when our theorized all-star lineup of UConn former players needs to come back and coach.
Oh yeah.
This is what I need Okafor teaching him what to do.
Yeah, I'd love to get Adrian in the gym with Kenton Facey and teach him a couple things. Because Facey's got the heart and the hustle. He needs to put on a little weight. I think Jeff can help him out with that.
Speaking of putting on a little weight, fucking Philip Nolan is such a piece of shit.
Oh God, he's just got.
What happened?
I mean, he was never really that great.
No, but he was at least functional on that national championship team.
It was like a Charles Okwandu syndrome. Like Okwandu was just a bumbling idiot until we got into the tournament, and he was a huge player for us. Kendra's year, and now he's just back to it. It's his biggest thing is like he gets a ton of fouls, and my biggest problem with him is like instead of like stepping in and playing good defense, like his first inclination is to take a charge, and like not only is that play gonna work out for you like 40% of the time at best, like that you're gonna.
Oh yeah, that you're actually trying out the charge, yeah.
But like the other times it's happening is either he'll get bowled over and they'll call it no call, it's an easy basket, or he's just drawing a useless foul where he can at least instead try and play legitimate defense and draw a real foul.
Ugh. Such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. I'm hoping at the very least we could get into the NIT just so we can watch a little bit of postseason with them.
Yeah. Unless they just totally turn it around and somehow get into the tournament. But even then, they'd get knocked out first round.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love that, but just like the field is just crazy this year.
I feel like they should be guaranteed at least NIT just for being the national champion.
Yeah, like they always get those like big name schools that just kind of like slide in with like 12 losses. It's like fuck it, we'll throw them in there.
Yeah, that they might get in just on that.
We can hope, but we got a lot of work to do. I mean, we're only like 2 games over 500. I mean, thankfully we have a ton of the conference to play left, and then, I mean, who knows? Our conference isn't as strong this year, so there's a chance we could like make a run in our own conference tournament, which by the way is in Hartford this year, which is going to be pretty fun. I'm going to try and get tickets to that.
Oh God damn it!
Damn
it!
Yeah,
maybe I'll fly home.
There you go. It's on the weekend.
When is it?
Like last weekend in March, I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or midweek, I don't know. It's in there somewhere. It's in March.
There's a lot of skiing to be had in March.
Yeah. Yeah, but at this rate, it basically looks like we have to win the AAC conference tournament to secure a bid in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. All right, rough go.
So many to choose from. You could take the layup of Pete Carroll because he's just catching so much flack, which he deserves. So I'm not going to give it to him. I'm going to go with every non-Patriots fan in the New England area that has to deal with all the bullshit that we're going to have to hear over until next football season.
Yeah, really. There's one thing New England fans know how to do. It's talk.
They chirp, man.
Oh, they chirp. I don't know. I might go with Lockett.
Lockett?
Just,
Oh, that poor guy.
oh.
First career interception, and he fucking breaks his wrist.
Oh, no, that's Lane.
Oh, my bad.
Lane, Lockett was the one going for the ball when it got picked off.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
I'm like, you got to go in hard on that ball.
Yeah, I mean,
And I know you got blindside and everything, but I don't know. He should have been in there at least enough to break that thing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just got leveled by, what was his name? I don't remember who had the pick.
No,
Malcolm something.
Yeah. But that's a
Whatever.
tough draw, man. Like,
Everything about that is just so dumb. So dumb. You
So
shit your
crazy.
pants on the 1 yard line
In the Super Bowl,
in the Super Bowl.
the game on the line,
Ugh.
and the best
Alrighty.
back in the NFL, ready to take the rock in.
It hurts my brain.
It hurts more than it should.
Alrighty.
Well, as depressing as we begin this podcast, that's
Yep.
how depressing it is now.
Mama, I just booked the first class ticket to
Later, everyone. Bye-bye.